In the U.S., a Starbucks latte costs around $6. In North Korea, that same amount equals the average citizen's entire monthly salary. Hye-jin was one of the lucky ones, an elite dancer who received white rice, meat, and even bananas, luxuries that most North Koreans have never tasted. Then her father was purged, and overnight, she lost everything: the food, the apartment, the privilege. What followed was a story of black markets, smuggled Chinese phones, and a 3,000-mile escape route that cost every cent her mother had ever saved. Subscribe to understand the reality behind the world's most isolated economy. It all started in 2013, the year I turned 18. Hye-jin, you got in. Mansudae Art Troupe accepted you. Mansudae Art Troupe. You may have heard of it in the news. It was what people called the Kippumjo, the pleasure squad. I thought I was special. Living in Pyongyang was already a privilege. And thanks to my father's rank as a party official, I was getting in. My friends couldn't hide their envy. I still remember that trembling feeling when I walked into the practice room on my first day. Wide rehearsal hall, mirrors covering every wall, portraits of President Kim Il-sung and General Kim Jong-il hanging above us. Comrades, we dance for the marshal. Never forget that. From that day, my entire life changed. Wake up at 6 a.m., ideological education. Rehearsal from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 12 hours of nothing but dance. Not a single day off. Instructors screamed at us daily. One wrong move meant punishment. Sometimes a slap. But I didn't mind, because we got special rations. While ordinary citizens couldn't get enough corn rice, we had white rice, meat, and fruit. Once a month, apples, pears, even bananas. Foreign cosmetics, too. Chinese lotion. Japanese lipstick. We were told we were receiving the marshal's special love. Back then, I believed it. In 2015, we spent 3 straight months preparing for the marshal, Kim Jong-un's birthday performance. On the day itself, I stood on stage in an elaborate hanbok. The marshal sat in the front row. We danced without a single mistake. Afterward, we received Swiss chocolate as a reward. One piece in my mouth, and I felt like the happiest person alive. But something slowly started to feel wrong. We couldn't come and go freely. Practice room, dormitory, performance hall, those were our entire world. We saw our families once a month. Dating was forbidden. A senior dancer was caught with a boyfriend and disappeared overnight. No one knew where she went. When I was 25, an older dancer pulled me aside. Hye-jin. When we get old, they'll discard us too. That was the first time doubt crept in. Am I a person or am I a tool? And in 2020, when I turned 25, the moment came. Comrade Hye-jin, it's time for you to go. 7 years given, 1 sentence. That was all. 3 months after I was let go, security agents from the Bawibu, the State Security Department, burst into our home. Comrade Ri Sheolsu, come with us. My father was taken without a word. We learned later it was a factional struggle inside the party. A senior official he had aligned with was purged, and my father went down with him. Overnight, we became a family with a tainted bloodline. Special rations gone. The right to live in Pyongyang stripped. In the spring of 2021, my father died in prison. The official cause was a heart attack. Nobody believed it. That was when it first sank in. Loyalty alone doesn't keep you safe. My father had devoted his entire life to the party, and it ended like nothing. I had to survive. So I went to the Jangmadang, the street market. Watching people there, I felt something like shock. This is what North Korea really looks like. Inside Mansudae, I hadn't known. Most people were scraping by day to day. Girls younger than me were crossing the Tumen River for Chinese money. Many never came back. My mother arranged a match. In the fall of 2021, I married a foreign currency trader. Not for love. To survive. He gave me a gift, a Chinese cell phone running on an illegal signal from across the border. One night, alone, I turned it on. I typed Seoul into the search bar. Photos filled the screen. Buildings reaching into the clouds. Roads choked with cars. Neon signs blazing through the night. My breath stopped. Then I watched Korean dramas my husband had downloaded. People in beautiful clothes, beautiful homes, buying ramen at midnight, sipping coffee freely, falling in love without fear. We were taught that South Korea was a colony of American imperialists, that people starved in the streets. But the soul on that screen was something else entirely. That night I couldn't sleep. Everything I believed, was it all a lie? The South was living better than us. It wasn't even close. That was when it started. I can't stay here. In 2022, COVID hit. The border slammed shut. Nothing came in from China. My husband's trading business collapsed. We started going hungry. 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day. Some days, a single bowl of corn porridge. I had once eaten Swiss chocolate. Now I couldn't get a proper bowl of corn porridge. By 2023, my husband made a decision. I have to make a run to China. Smuggling. He bribed border guards and moved goods across. He knew getting caught meant death. He went anyway. We had to eat. He made several successful runs. Then one day in October 2023, he didn't come home. The next morning, Boibu agents arrived. He'd been caught at the border. Taken somewhere. Silence. Then the hell of Yanzhuaje collective punishment began. Her husband committed a crime, so the family pays too. Once a week, agents came to our home. They tore the house apart, pried up floorboards, knocked on walls. I was slapped. The neighborhood watch leader monitored every move. Neighbors avoided me. Friends I'd known since childhood looked straight through me. I was forced to attend mandatory self-criticism sessions 3 times a week. Comrade Rehyejin, criticize yourself. I failed to properly guide my husband. I am deeply sorry. Show more remorse. My dignity hit the floor. I had once danced before the marshal. Now I was bowing my head, begging forgiveness. My mother spoke to me quietly one night. Hyejin, you have to survive. If you stay, they'll take you too. She was right. The Boibu was building a case against me, trying to label me an accomplice. I'll get settled first, then I'll come back for you. I promise. Yes, just survive. That's enough. In January 2024, a Boibu notice arrived. We will be questioning you directly. My mother said leave before dawn tomorrow. Tonight is the last night. I have to live. Whatever it takes. My mother brought out everything she'd saved over a lifetime. 6,000 Chinese yuan. She sold her wedding ring. Gold necklace, earrings, everything my father had given her. Every last penny went to me. I met a broker through the market. He would get me from Pyongyang to Musan. Crossing the Tumen from there was up to me. My mother sewed the 6,000 yuan into the inside of my underwear, a small hidden pocket. Even if they search you, they won't strip a woman to her underwear. It's the safest place. The night before I left, we walked along the frozen Taidong River together. We climbed Moranbong the hill where all of Pyongyang stretched below. Mangyongdae, the Yucha Tower, Kim Il-sung Square. I took it all in one last time. We came home and had dinner. White rice, kimchi, tofu. My mother took my hand. Hyejin, I'm sorry. For bringing you into this country, it's not your fault. I believed in this country at first. I thought we had the best nation in the world. But it was all a lie. Our own people were starving. At 2 a.m., time to go. She pressed a photo into my hand-me in a brilliant handbok. Mid-dance at Mansudae. Take this. Don't forget who you are. I held her one last time. I love you, Mother. I'll see you again. I promise. I walked into the dark. I didn't look back. I knew if I did, I'd never leave. On February 18th, 2024, I boarded a train at Pyongyang Station, gripping a forged travel permit. 12 hours! At every checkpoint, soldiers checked. I'd tucked bribe money inside the permit. They took it and waved me through. At Musan, a border town, the broker was waiting. He led me to a house. At 11 p.m., we moved out. 4 of us in dark clothes, walking through the night. About an hour in, the Tumen River appeared. A frozen surface, moonlight glinting off the ice. See that? The other side is China. If you see a flashlight, hit the ground. I stepped onto the ice. Creak! My heart slammed against my ribs. We were almost to the midpoint when it happened. Click! A gun being loaded. Lights on! Get down! We dropped into the snow. -4 degrees. My face pressed against the ice. The flashlight beam swept toward us. Footsteps crunching through the snow, getting closer. Please, please. The light swept past me inches away. Then a radio crackled from another post. Post 5. Anomaly upstream. Move immediately. The guard cursed, spun around, and ran back. We lay there for 30 more minutes. Frozen. Then we moved again. This is China. I set my foot on Chinese soil. That moment, I will never forget it. Not North Korean land, free land. Or so I believed. A Korean-Chinese grandmother hid us in her basement. 3 meters by 4. Windowless, damp, cold. A plastic bucket for a bathroom. During the day, no sound. If the Chinese police catch you, you go back. Labor camp. Then death. 1 month felt like a year. Then March 5th. 4 a.m. Pounding from upstairs. Open up! Chinese police. The grandmother flew down. Take off your clothes. If they catch you, they'll sell you to traffickers. Your clothes are evidence. I stripped down to my underwear. She pushed me behind the wardrobe, a hidden space 50 centimeters wide, 1 meter deep. Not enough room to stand. Not enough to sit. I folded myself in, crouching, shaking. The basement door swung open. Flashlights swept the room. The beam hit the wardrobe. The door opened. I stopped breathing. Nobody here. Footsteps up the stairs. A car pulling away. I stayed hidden for 2 more hours. When I finally emerged, my legs gave out. I sat on the floor, soaked in cold sweat. This place isn't safe either. After that, I kept my clothes off even during the day, underwear only. Just in case. On March 25th, word came. The missionary is sending a car tomorrow. You're going through Laos. Before dawn on March 26th, 15 of us climbed into a black van. Then, an hour later, into a freight container. Dark! Barely any air. 3 days inside, moving only at night. Water and bread. A shared bucket. Someone got sick. We kept each other going. After Yunnan province, we walked jungle mountain trails for 8 hours into Laos. Snakes in the undergrowth. One woman collapsed midway. The guide hauled her up. We bribed Laotian police $200 each money from the pocket. My mother had sewn into my underwear. They looked away and let us pass. Bus to Vientiane, then Thailand, then Bangkok. Over 3,000 miles, 2 weeks. I developed a high fever. My body was breaking down. April 2024, Bangkok. There, that's the South Korean embassy. The South Korean flag. Red and blue. The Taeguk symbol. Tears came before I could stop them. I walked to the embassy doors and pushed them open. My knees buckled. I knelt on the floor. I'm from North Korea. Please protect me as a citizen of the Republic of Korea. A staff member came to me. You're safe now. This is the Republic of Korea. I made it. I actually made it. April 15, 2024. Incheon International Airport. My feet touched Korean soil. After 2 weeks of interviews with the National Intelligence Service, I was sent to Hanawon, the Settlement Support Center in Anseong. 3 months of language classes, computer skills, job training. Here, unlike North Korea, you're free to live as you choose. Free to live as you choose. During one of the outings, I stepped into downtown Anseong. Women in miniskirts, tank tops. In North Korea, that would have meant arrest. Here, nobody said a word. I walked into a convenience store. Open at 11 p.m., shelves full of snacks and drinks. Can I just buy any of this? Of course. Just pay. In North Korea, you couldn't get a single grain of rice without a ration slip. I completed Hanawon, moved to Seoul, and found a job at a dance studio. Mansudae art troupe background, the director welcomed me. I started teaching ballet and K-pop dance. Students said, "Teacher, your body is amazing. How are you so slim?" I smiled. In North Korea, I was thin from starvation. I went to Hongdae, to Gangnam, to a nightclub. Women in crop tops and short skirts walking alone at midnight. The Seoul I'd seen on that illegal phone back home, it was real. I danced at the club. At Mansudae, I danced for the marshal. Here, I danced for myself. That was real freedom. Every night, I still dream. My mother. My husband. The Taedong River. I've tried sending money to my mother through brokers in China. No word yet. My husband, whether he's in a labor camp, whether he's still alive, I don't know. I watch reunion videos of separated Korean families, decades apart. Meeting again. I cry every time. I want to see my mother again. I want to walk along the Taedong River again. That is my wish. Reunification. I hope our generation sees it. So I can bring my mother home. So I can learn what happened to my husband. Don't take your freedom for granted. I know exactly what it's worth. Thank you.